Okay. Hi everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Londa. You can call me Zhong Yanfeng or call me Londa Feng. Both of them are okay. I'm the team leader of OceanBase open source. Before today's speech, may I add to investigation? How many friends have been heard of OceanBase? Okay. It's definitely worth to introduce OceanBase here. Okay. Today's slides will divide into three parts. The first one is about what is OceanBase. The second one is about what can OceanBase do for OpenStack. At the same time, I will introduce some key features of OceanBase. The third part is about OceanBase user scenario. The first part, OceanBase brief introduction. In the morning, in the demo show, I do some brief introduction about OceanBase. You know, OceanBase is the only database which break the world record in TPCC and TPC-H. In 2020, OceanBase achieved 707 million TPMC in the TPCC benchmark. It's the first time to run database with a distributed database. The score is 20 times faster than OceanBase. In fact, a lot of story behind the TPCC benchmark. I'm afraid I can't share the story behind the TPCC. In 2021, OceanBase obtained 15 million QPH in TPC-H, and we break the world record. From 2019, we start to sell OceanBase. Till now, there are more than 1,000 customers. What's more, the number of our customers growing very fast. It comes from all kinds of fields, such as financial, government, telecom, internet, manufacture, or other fields. Due to OceanBase comes from Alibaba and group, we are good at financial, e-commerce. You can find a lot of financial company. In fact, in China premise financial field, the marketing occupation of OceanBase is the number one, and you can find the ICBC, the biggest bank, one of the biggest bank of the world, and you can find People Bank of China and the China UnionPay, and Dana, GC Cash, and the PRCC, and so on. Among of these users, N group is the biggest one. There are millions of costs running OceanBase in whatever cost system, such as trade, payment, accounting, SIF, promotion, and real-time data, or some aged system. In 2019, in the Double 11 festival. Does anyone know Double 11 festival? It's just like a Black Friday on Amazon. In fact, the trade per second is higher than Amazon. It's about maybe 10 times. I have saw the transaction per second curve. It's very, very amazing. So in 2019, the peak query per second is about 61 millions. In fact, this is just 2019. In fact, the latest data is more high. And the biggest database is more than 6 petabyte. The biggest table is more than 320 billion rows. What's more, the RPO is 0 and the RTO is less than 8 seconds. So, according to above description, maybe we have a basic understanding about OceanBase. OceanBase is an open source distributed database for mission critical workload at any scale. The below part is about the history of OceanBase. In fact, it's have 14 years history. The history is fascinating, but I have no time to show a lot of history details. Here are several key points. The first one is keep on meet the requirement of our user. For example, in the first 3 years, we meet the Alibaba requirement. In the second 6 years, we met the Ant Group Alipay's requirement. In the latest 5 years, we met the customer's requirement. Thanks for our customers' patience, we keep on evolution. You know, in the beginning of OceanBase, in fact, OceanBase was created from scratch. In the beginning, OceanBase is a very simple distributed key value system. It's just a key value system, not like today's SQL functionality system. But as time goes on, we keep on redesign. In fact, we redesigned twice. Till now, the OceanBase architecture can support high type and support standalone, support distributed in one system. The second part is about OceanBase what can OceanBase do for OpenStack. So we wish we can work together to provide a win-win solution. Here is the OpenStack architecture. We can find database are everywhere. We can find a database almost in every module, such as Nova, Trova, or Swift Keystone. Database store the metadata, and metadata is very important. It's vital to a whole system. If the database crash, the system is hard to work. So here is 3 challenges. The first one is about how to provide 7 by 24 hours uninterrupted service. This is the first one challenge. The second one is how to scale. As time goes on, the data became more and more, so how to scale. The third one is, you know, database is a kind of fragile system, so it needs a lot of maintenance, such as monitor, backup, and resource management, user management. So how to simplify maintenance tasks. Before answering this question, let me introduce the architecture of OceanBase. Here are 2 rows. The first one is OB proxy. OB proxy is a kind of stateless process, and it just analyzes SQL and recognize the routing and then forward the SQL to the correct OB server. The OB server is another core row. It's an all-in-one system, just like the Oracle. The SQL engine, transaction engine, and store engine all run in the procedure. So one node can provide database service. This is the first one key point. The second one is about root service. Root service is a kind of important module. It is responsible for take over the cluster management, such as scaling. When cluster start up, several nodes will form the Paxos group. Paxos group, do us understand the Paxos group? It's a kind of consensus protocol. One node per zone. Several server will form a Paxos group and Paxos group of root service, and one root service will be elected as leader. So the leader will take over everything. This is the key point of 2. The third is about the store engine. The store engine is based on the SM tree. SM tree is another kind of store engine tree, different from the Oracle, different from other SQL server, other traditional databases such as MySQL, Postgres. We keep on evolution our store engine for 14 years. Nowadays, there are several advantages, such as the compress ratio is pretty high. The disk usage is almost 1/5 of MySQL. At the same time, performance is pretty good. For example, we support row format and column format. We can support both of the format in one store engine. This is very set up. This is very set up. I think this is the top technology in the whole world. Another question: why OceanBase is a distributed database? Okay, let me give an example. Here is a 6 node, 3 zone. Every zone have two node. Every zone have 2 node. The data unit is partition. If a database have 8 partition, so every node will have 2. Every node have 4 partition. The same partition, such as P1, the same partition will form a Paxos group. If any leader is down, the left will take over everything, no data loss. We in fact implemented a Paxos group 10 years ago. At that time, Raft hadn't occurred. In fact, Paxos' performance is better than Raft. Yeah. So the first challenge, how to provide 7 by 24 hours uninterrupted service. The key point is high availability. In this morning, I just give a demo show to this part. For the traditional monolithic database, all data is synced by bin log. In fact, it's very hard to guarantee data no loss. It's very hard to keep consistency and high availability. OceanBase sync data through Paxos. In fact, zero data loss. At the same time, our recovery time objective is less than 8 seconds. 8 seconds is very, very amazing. What's more, all replica are active. If we write down write down data to storage engine, and if the majority of the cluster response, then the response to client is okay. So the performance is pretty good. If the one cluster isn't enough for the high availability, and you can add standby cluster or standby tenant. This is very useful in disaster tolerance across city, especially in financial field. What's the advantage? The first one is simple, because everything has been done by kernel, no actual component. The second advantage is more stable. Yes, more stable. You know, for sync data, there are a lot of chart things, such as sync DDR, and connection broken often. So, but if you use OceanBase, and don't worry about this. The third part is about performance. Performance is better. Why? Because we will compress all log. At the same time, we think just the physical modification log is smaller than normal bin log. In fact, due to we come from financial field, we have a lot of features to improve the high availability. So the second challenge is how to scale. Because we are distributed database, so we are good at scalable. Because OceanBase goal is one database to meet 80% of relationship database requirement. So we want, if the data is small, we can use small hardware. If the data is growing, we can use high performance hardware. If we want high availability, we can set up a cluster. If the load is high, we can add a node to the cluster until we match the load requirement. Okay. If the load is high or the disk is poor, so we can do vertical scaling, and it will move the partition from the old node to the new node. And this is transparent to application. Application won't change, and it's totally transparent. If the load is heavy or we want higher availability, we can do horizontal scaling. We will add nodes to zones, to new zones, add zones to the cluster, and it will copy the data from the old zone to the new zone, and some partition will be elected as leader. What's more, it's also transparent to application. It's totally application, totally transparent. What's more, the performance can be improved linearly. The third feature is how to simplify maintenance task. The first useful method is one cluster for whole OpenStack, but one tenant per module. For example, Nova, Ironic, Kingston, every module use a tenant. OceanBase tenant is just like like an Oracle tenant, it's a resource pool. The CPU memory disk are isolated. What's more, we can scale up a tenant in second. This is the application. There is another advantage. If some module slow down his system, and through the tenant, it can't impact other tenant. And that's another useful utility is about OceanBase console platform. It's a kind of all-in-one platform. It's very useful for managing database such as monitor, alert, inspection, diagnose, backup. In fact, these tools have been used at any group for 10 years. It's just like cloud platform. Here is one useful features. Monitor SQL diagnose, prevent users slow seeker to slow down the whole system. If occur this problem, just limit it. For example, top frequent SQL and slow SQL and suspected SQL. Here are some other features. Because of lack of time, I can't show details, but I will mention in the next scenario. So the user scenario, there are 6 scenarios. Later I will describe. The first one is about data center. Use OceanBase to store historical data. The trip company, the biggest travel company in China, and in their customer service system, we use sharding middleware before, and it's very hard to scale. It's very hard to do complex query, and what's more, the cost is pretty high. The data is huge, so they seek us for help. We provide one solution. Store hot data in MySQL and store all data in OceanBase and automatically archive data from MySQL to OceanBase. They get a lot of benefits such as save cost. Yeah, save cost. The disk usage of OceanBase is only 15% of MySQL. Yeah, this is due to our store engine. Another thing is easy to scale. No sharding middleware. You know, if using sharding middleware, if we want to do scale, we need double the hardware. The third is improve writing performance 3 times. The second scenario is about multiple tenant. D-Mall is one of famous retail SaaS provider. His customer is Walmart, Wume, and Zhongbai, and he provides a service meet hundreds of users. Before using OceanBase, they met several problems, such as it's hard to operation because every user will use MySQL. There are hundreds of MySQL. So the cost is pretty high. The load of MySQL is pretty low, you know. This will lead to a lot of resource has been wasted. At the same time, it's hard to scale up in the short term during the peak time. At the same time, it's hard to do analytical tasks. So they switch from the MySQL to OceanBase, and they use one cluster for all. So this is very easy to operation and save the cost. Only 1/3 hardware. Easy to scale up. Some analytical tasks can be done. Okay. The third scenario is about high availability. Just now I have mentioned a lot about high availability. In the ICVC, and we set up a cluster across city and 2 city, primary city and backup city, and 3 data center. If any node or any data center is down, everything is fine. So we obtain highest certificate. The The fourth scenario is about high performance. I will just show, due to lack of time, I just show the transaction per second and query percent. In fact, Kuaishou is the top 2 company, just like TikTok. The QPS is more than 100, and the TPS is more than 80,000. About the OLAP, the fifth scenario is about OLAP, especially for real-time data warehouse in the Kuayue Express. Kuayue is one of the biggest logistic company in their way via system. They used Hadoop before. Hadoop is pretty heavy and slow, and the data pipeline is pretty long. It will pass through HDFS, Spark, Presto, but switch to OceanBase. The data pipeline is very short. The average thing is just write data to OceanBase, and the client, business intelligent, just query the OceanBase. So the latency is very short, reduced from 2 hours to 2 seconds, and the query performance improve much, and the cost have been saved 15%. The last one is about OBKV. OceanBase can provide key value system, no any other extra component. Baker is the biggest real estate agent in China. They use OceanBase to replace HBase, Apache HBase. The performance has been improved much. Query have been improved 4 times, back insert 4 times, and ETR 2 times. Okay. Thank you all. It's about the OceanBase. The first one is GitHub JS, and the second one is Slack. Thank you all. If you have any question,